So once I got this badass slide right here, the old Glock Spare Slide sent right to your door, because the slide's not considered a gun, so you have it sent right to your door. Does have a serial number in it, which people bitch about, but hey, you know, the serial numbers on all kinds of stuff you got in life, right? Your TV, your VCR, you don't care about that, do you? But once I got this right here, then I ended up having a Glock 19 slide, or Glock 19 slide that had no frame. So what I do, I went and got myself a slide, and I said, should I get another Glock slide? Should I get another Glock frame? Hell no. There's like so many aftermarkets out there for frames, and I look at them and most of them look like dog shit. The SCT looks like dog shit. The Lone Wolf looks like dog shit. Most of them look like dog shit. There's like maybe 3 that look decent, and then this one actually looked badass. And from reading forums and YouTube videos, everybody said the Grit Grips is the best. So it was like a consensus. So I decided to get myself a Grit Grips. Now the Grit Grips I got it during the whatever sale they had going on, Memorial Day sale. So you can get the Grit Grip stripped with no internals for $69.99. That is pretty. Look at that. It is pretty. It's prettier than the Glock one, if you ask me. You can get the one that's fully assembled with the Grit Grip parts. I don't know where they get the parts, whatever, but they're nice and shiny in the pictures I looked at. You get that for $114.99. But I got my stuff during the sale when the stuff was like, I got my frame from them for like $15 less than what it is right now. Because right now it is $154.99, and I got mine for $139.49. So like $15.50 cheaper. You can do the math. I've been drinking Shiner. I'm in Texas. I got it on sale. So when you buy stuff, you should buy it on sale. I buy stuff when on sale. Everything I got practically, I buy during sales. And it's like, oh man, how can you afford not to get something? I always get stuff when they're on sale. So anyways, I got my OEM 100% Glock parts is what they said. And I verified it because I got this just today. I went and picked it up from FFL. I had to pay $20. Her machine wasn't working, so she said, just pay me the next time I come to shoot at her range. But I gave her $15, so we're $5 now. But anyways, so I got it for $139.49 with the OEM parts. Supposed to be 100% Glock parts. And I took the thing all apart today after I got home from work and looked at it and verified that they're OEM parts. The only one I couldn't totally verify as being OEM parts was the connector, which looks a little bit different than the standard connectors. But maybe that's how Glock's making them now. I don't know. But it's a standard connector, which I took this apart and I put myself in a Glock 19. Oop, the thing fell. The Glock. I've got this during the Black Friday sale. You can see right there when I got the Glock OEM minus connector. Which, man, those things are expensive these days. They just are. And I put it in here, which makes one hell of a difference. I like the minus connectors, especially in Gen 3. I like them in Gen 4. I like the dot connector in like the Gen 5s. And I can tell a huge difference. So I took out the connector, which possibly, I wrote on here, but I put a little asterisk by it because I couldn't verify 100%. We'd be doing all kinds of Google image searches and reading in forums, looking at it up close. It probably is, because everything else was actually Glock OEM. There it is. You're not going to really see it that well on there. And I'm going to get all into this. But I did, every time I replace something, I always label bags, Grit Grips, OEM standard. So it didn't have a dot on it. It's supposed to be the standard connector. And even if it had the dot connector, I was going to put a minus connector on this anyways. And then I guess I could tell a huge fucking difference. You can tell a huge fucking difference on Gen 4s, or on Gen 3s in particular. So, when you put a minus connector there. Now I'm going to show you a few different Glocks in here. I have 4 Glock 19s now, if you want to count this as a Glock 19. Because the slide is, the barrel is just the tip. So So what you could do, if one of the main complaints against Glocks that people have that don't like Glocks is they don't like the angle of the frame, which casting Glock, the eccentric that he was, went against the grain and put a 22-degree angled grip compared to the 1911 grip, which is 18 degrees. And most guns out there, 18, 19 degrees. That's what they follow. And Glock's weird. So with a Glock, normally you're going to have to push the nose down a little bit. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to totally get into this. I could go down a rabbit hole right now that I'm not going to go down on there. So let's get into the grips. When I took it apart with the OEM parts, I did find tracking it down felt a little different than normal, but I'm not going to get all into what that's not what it's about. And the first time you take apart a Glock, it's kind of stiff to begin with, and the more you take it apart and reassemble it, the easier it gets to do, and then pretty soon you're just doing it by your hands and everything. But I took everything out. I verified that everything in there was OEM internals. One thing that won't be OEM internals is going to be, and let me go ahead and take this apart to show you. So we're going to compare right there. Oh, you can see, I don't know if I have an autofocus going on. No, I don't. I think I have the focus that's right on there. So on the grit grips, you can see that the rails are not quite as long as they are on a Glock Gen 3 frame. Right here, they're a little shorter. The gun sits, the slides fit on here. When I put this slide on here, we'll go and put it back on. We'll put it on this one, which is the spare slide. When I put that one on here, I've noticed that it's a little slightly bit looser than it is on a standard Glock frame. Once you pull the trigger, it gets even looser. Right there. I don't know if you can hear that. Right there. But what's kind of weird is when if I take this off of here and put the, not the spare slide, but the Glock 19 Gen 3 slide that I do have on here, which is all up to, it's not as loose. So, you know, Glocks, they all vary. You can get the same model Glock twice, and then sometimes they're a little bit more sloppy than other times. And that's, a Glock is going to be sloppy anyways because it's a combat pistol. It's not made specifically for competition accuracy and everything. It's made to fucking be thrown up against the wall and then pulled out of the mud and keep firing and stuff and be reliable and you know it's going to go bang. And they're pretty damn accurate anyways. So anyways, I'm just going to point that out because my reviews of things, I don't just sit there and candy coat them, especially if nobody pays me to do it. Just kidding. Nobody's paid me to do anything yet. I got some free stuff from DPM, and I'm still giving a real legit review on that. That is going to be the next video. It should have probably been this video. I'm going back to the range on Tuesday. I've already gone to the range and fired a bunch with the DPM, comparing all the different springs. And I haven't made that video yet because I want to go back again. And besides, I owe Alice $5. So anyways, taking it apart, yes, it is the trigger. All the parts are correct that are in here, totally verified. They are the real deals if you want to pay the money to get the OEMs. So yes, some people complain about Glock slide bite. I mean, a lot of people do actually, but I don't. I've never had a problem with it, but they've got a bigger beaver tail on there than the Glock frame. I guess I could take the slide off if I'm going to really just focus on the frame so much, but otherwise, it's bothering me. I'm going to put this one right back on here. There we go. So, beaver tail on the grit grips right here sticks out further. I'm going to be honest with you. Comparing the grips, I like the finger grooves on the Gen 3 Glock 19. I did take a Dremel tool and took down, I don't know how well you can see it on there, to smooth away the Glock knuckle just enough to where I don't feel it. It doesn't bother me anymore, and it normally did. It would dig in to my finger. So I sanded that down as I do on some of my Glocks right there, but just enough, and that's all I needed. I don't need to do it any more than that right there. But with the grit grips, of course, you're not going to get any Glock knuckle. And to be honest with you, I feel like I could get really higher. I've not fired this. I'm taking this out Tuesday. I feel like I can really, really more easily get up high on the gun with, I love this grips. I've not shot it yet. And, but oh, man, you can get in your hand. I can tell my hand all nice and sweaty and shit. This shit ain't going anywhere anyways. So maybe we should get into the, okay, yeah. So a little bit misleading on their site. They said everything's Gen 3 on here except for, you know, the suck-ass thing about Gen 3s is that mag release. Even though I do have an extended one on here, but that's the NDZ. So they have an extended mag release, which I played with, sticking it inside the holsters and pushing up against it. And it seems like it's not so extended or it's going to be a problem. I think it's going to be a good one. And as far as empty magazine, right here. Of course, you don't have to break the grip on this like you do on Gen 3s normally, unless you change that mag release out, which I did on the other one right there. But yeah, if you read it when you're getting the all OEM parts, says everything in here is OEM, all internals. This thing is not a Glock OEM mag release, which is good because the extended mag release from Glock does have a bad reputation for releasing mags. You know, when you're in your holsters or if you set them on the table and push down on them, they're a little bit too much. So you want a happy medium besides that. So I'm actually glad it doesn't have the Glock extended one right here. And it's pretty nice. Here's where you can see right there. See it on the opposite side of it. You can see that's just flat out not Glock. So as far as grips go, grip. The worst grip will go to my, these are all unloaded. I did this before I made the video right here. I don't even have magazines in them, right? So shoot floor. Everything's just, I was totally unloaded. Right here I've got handle it grips right there. With the F4 Phantom in there because so my dad flew during the Vietnam War. So this ended up, this was his gun for a while, or that's when I built for him, and then, we're not going to go down all that stuff. I ended up with this, and he's got basically my Glock 45 now. It's a hybrid between these two. Put them together. But this grip's kind of cool. The handle of grips, but probably you want to get the sandpaper one because this one right here, it's, you know, it's not so bad until you start sweating and stuff. And once you get sweaty, I think this is worse than if it wasn't even on there. Okay? So I'd probably get the sandpaper version. A lot of people say good things about this. I don't know about Talon grips. I haven't tried Talon grips. But the handle it grip one, not that great. So from there we'll go to just a standard old Glock. Now this right here is my Gen 5 Glock 23, but it's one where I don't have anything done to the grip. And you know, when the Gen 5s, I don't think it's that bad. I've never really had a problem with these right there. So the standard grip on this, I think, is better than it would be on a Gen 3, except that with these finger grooves on here, if they do fit your fingers correctly, which they seem to fit my hand fairly correctly, those finger grooves right there, the grip is not as good as on the Gen 4 or Gen 5 in particular. Gen 5 is pretty good grip, but those finger grooves are pretty nice right there. So, and then we'll get, or how are we going to compare it? This one beats everybody except for it ties my Glock 19C, which I had the finger grooves removed from here, and that's just because I have a custom stippling job on here, which, I mean, that grip is pretty. It doesn't really get any better as far as having it's on my 19C, but this is the Gen 4 with the finger grooves taken off, but it's been stippled by Tommy Gun Stippling in Euless, Texas. The man is an artiste. I've said that before. You can see he freehands this. It's not even an outline on there. That's how perfect this guy's stippling job is. I mean, it's just phenomenally badass right there. But you know what? I go to the handle of grip right here, and that right there, how the way they molded this, That's as good as that stippling job right there. It is. And I really feel I can't wait till I pick this out Tuesday, because my review on that is going to be on the DPM springs, which is coming up, and it's a video right before this. You can see kind of a preview to it. But I'm kind of slow to go because I got a real life outside of here. But no, that handle, its grip, that feels great. I mean, perfect. And it's also very sweet looking. You can see how nice quality this is. I did not get the magwell for it yet because I just haven't. The magwell is kind of expensive. It's like $40-50 for the magwell. So I mean, I maybe end up picking it up, but I don't really have a problem. The Grit Grips one is kind of flared a little bit anyways in the front right here. At least more than the Gen 3. You can see I got a plug in this one right here, and that plug, I don't think that's plastic. It might be that it's just plain old polymer. I think it might be metal. But you can see it's, well, I don't know what you can see right there. The Gen 3, regular Gen 3, and the Grit Grips. There's a little bit more of a flared magwell. I don't think that it's really shown it in there. But I don't really have a problem getting magwells back into things. But just, yeah, looking right here, it's it's more flared here in the front end, at least, and even on the sides a little bit. It's already kind of got a little bit of a flare to it. Also, I guess for gas pedal or whatever you call these things, memory pad right there, that's pretty nice. And I mean, if you go looking in forums, Glock forums, anybody's forums out there, the debates, YouTube videos, whatever, people say Grit Grips is the best. So I've not shot it yet, but it is nice looking. And my wife just got home, so this video is going to be coming towards an end. You're home. And she's home. And I'm in the middle of a video that's probably not going to be even uploaded. I'll have to redo this tomorrow. We'll compare maybe the last script right here. Howie's hockey tape with finger grooves on my Gen 4 Glock 22 right there. What is this sweet ass pistol itself? Like I said, I've checked all of these guns. They're all good to go. The only thing that's not stock on this baby is the the Apex trigger, which is really great on this gun because the reset on how well you can see. But on this particular one, I don't know, I got lucky. The reset is real quick compared to my other Apex triggers, which is the most common trigger job I have on my other ones out there. That used to be on this baby, my customized, that is the original slide, by the way. Right there, Maple Leaf Firearms milled that out for me and did I forget what they call it, what cut this is. But, yeah, I've got the Johnny Glock's trigger on there now. The full-blown package deal. It's not just the shoe. And then I took the Apex off. It was for a Gen 4. Put it on that one. And I guess it's about time to wrap this up. If you do want to get yourself a Grit Grips frame and you don't have a slide, get the Glock one right here, the Spare Slide. If you get it when November comes up for Black Friday sale, you'll be able to get it 20% off, which is what I got it off for, just because I had a coupon from posting in the forums. So right now on their website, it's $296, and the Grit Grips, if you get just the assembled, not with the OEM parts, would be $114.99 unless you get that during the sale. If you go with the OEM, it's going to be $154 if you buy it right now. I got it for $139.49 when I did it. Then you're going to need, because it's not going to come with a barrel, so you will need, these are $5 on the Glock website for the Gen 3 recoil spring. You're going to need to get yourself a barrel. It can take any, Glock 19 is interchangeable. You can use any generation barrel in any Glock 19. So you can get the one that I have on here for $59.99. If you want the ported aim surplus, just the tip. I'll let y'all do the rest of the math on that. Have a great day, evening, whatever it may be.